Mighty men and women for God. How are we doing today? Sorry, I'm a little sniffly. It was a little cold last night out here in the country, but it's beautiful. Got this beautiful, just before we start, I'm zero important, but this plant is gorgeous. I don't know what it's called, but bees love it. Anyways, I was doing some praying and talking to God, and he had another message for me. And this is just something that I kind of came up with organically. So I'm going to use this view so my head blocks that sun a little bit. That I just kind of came up with organically, just thinking about my love for God, the things I've been through, and what everything means. And using my knowledge, wisdom, and discernment that I pray for to decipher between what the Bible's really talking about, what God's really talking about in my life, and my purpose. And for some reason, I've been thinking about my old man a lot lately. I lost my dad in 2012. I was 23 years old. Sorry, when I was in Afghanistan, I was fighting a war, and he was back here fighting too. And he was a good man. He was flawed, just like I am, but he had the light, man. And I've been thinking about him and my cousin Jeff. Same kind of dude a lot lately. I'm sorry I'm crying. It's just, I put those pictures up on my post, and those are my angels. There's more of them too, but when I have tough days and things seem insurmountable, if you will, I look at those pictures and they say, let's get it. And I say, I'm here. My backpack is on, boys. I'm here. I'm not leaving. I love y'all. I'm not going to let evil win and get to me and get to God's beautiful people. We are going to stand up and do something and pray. We're not going to do what they want. We're not going to do what they want. You know what I'm saying? That whole violence thing, that whole anger thing. We're just going to smile and pray and laugh at them. But anyways, that was my little rant. Now, I've been thinking about my dad loved the Doors, the band, Jim Morrison. And he had a love for music, the Doors. And I was thinking, man, Jesus talks about he's the door. The only way to the Father is through me, right? And I've been really thinking about that, like what it really means to get saved, what heaven really is. Because I believe that God has a sense of humor. And I believe he's like he loves puzzles and art and things. So, right? It's tough for me to think that he puts everything in a book. All you do is read that book, sit around, and you're good. That's not the God that I'm understanding. They're puzzles, man. Little pieces in there. But I don't even think a third of it's in that book. What you need to know, really. I believe that. I believe, right? Maybe 1/3 of it's in the book. Maybe 1/3 of it's your faith. And maybe 1/3 of it's your experiences. The fire you've been through. Now, I'm just using thirds. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But I believe that the whole anointing you're looking for through God, the whole purpose you're looking for, it's not going to be just a one-way in. Oh, I read this book, I don't cuss, I stand up straight, wear weird clothes, and I'm good. Nah, dude, maybe you'll go to heaven, depending on how you live your life, but you're not doing... I think what happens here is we hear Jesus is the door, right? And no one even really knows what that man was like, you know? They portray him as almost a female, from the Roman Catholic Church in the Vatican. And that's because, you know why that is. You know what they like. They like youth. So that's why they make all these men and all this stuff look like little girls, little kids, because that's what the top echelon likes. Creeps. So don't pay attention to that. I said it in a past video. Jesus was a man, and he was a warrior. And I've never met a warrior that doesn't have a sense of humor, won't laugh, won't cuss every once in a while. I believe Jesus was perfect, right? But maybe he showed some of the flaws he had down here with men. You know, maybe he did that. Maybe God said, okay, you are perfect. I'm holding, right? Because when we get saved, God pulls your spirit away. So your body can sin here, but he's got your spirit. He's got the important part, right? When you get saved, right? Do a little math, man. 666 broken down into a fraction is 1/3, right? He leaves 1/3 here. He takes the 2/3 that are necessary, right? When you get saved. Those numbers might not be exact, but it works a lot like that in what I believe, right? You're here. The bag of flesh is here. He's got what he needs once you come to him. So don't believe everything that they're putting out about him, because why would they dilute and corrupt the Bible, corrupt the entire world, but they're not going to corrupt the story of the most important person in it? Come on. I think it's time we all wake up. Preachers, followers, everybody, man. The door. Now, here's what I think. I think we're all doors. I think the word is the door, right? Because the only way to the Father is through the Son, the door, Jesus Christ. Now, I believe that, but I think it's through the word of God, through the belief in him. So every Christian, and I use that loosely, because Christians are weak. I don't even like to consider myself a Christian. I'm honestly on the path, not in any new way, it's just God-fearing, man. That's that old school. It's just God-fearing. What are you? I fear God, and I love him, and I die for him. You know, whatever. Be a martyr for him. Whatever he needs me to do, I'll do that. That's what we need, man. Not perfection, heart, intention, spirit. That's what we need. That's what God needs. But I'm just saying, it's just, when you're talking to people out and about God with a smile on your face, you don't have any money, you don't act like you do or you don't, but you just live, and people see that on you, they smell that on you. They're like, oh, that boy's chilling. Why is he so cool? Why is he so happy? I don't mean cool like, I mean cool like, why is he so cool? You know, it took me a long time to learn that. That finding God isn't just about finding God, it's about showing that he's with you. And if you have him and you believe in him, but you're miserable out in the real world, you ain't showing nobody anything they need. They're gonna be like, why are we gonna follow him? And I've heard this before. And it didn't resonate. I was too much in my shit. So when you find God, man, go out and spread that word. Be a door. Because think about this. Maybe all you do is shake somebody's hand. Or maybe somebody sees you having a really good day when everything's against you. And they're like, oh, that stuff's real. This God thing might just be real, right? You just open up a door for them. You just gave them a door. They walk through it, that's on them or not. Doesn't matter, man. And this place is tough. I believe that, you know, karma is tough. When you do something to somebody, like if you break somebody's heart, there's a good chance you're going to have your heart broken, right? I've seen examples of that in my life. If you use somebody as a friend when they were loyal to you, there's a good chance you're going to have to feel that. God's bank is a just bank. And do you know what he banks in? It's not so much karma, it's balance, right? Be like water. It's not about revenge. God doesn't care that much about that stuff. He understands we're all out here doing stuff, having experiences. He's learning from us. But it's all about balance. God likes balance. Moderation. So if someone's going to treat you like crap, it's got to balance out at some point. It might take a long time, but that's how it works. The scales, baby. That's why we're weighing stuff. Weighing hearts, man. Weighing minds, weighing souls. Weighing wisdom. Well, they're out here weighing money. Weak. Money's weak. You weigh yourself on the scale, fat America. You know what I'm saying? It's another thing. If you're God's people, don't look sloppy. Right? Just like police that are fat. It's gross. Soldiers that are fat. It's gross. Why? Why are you doing a job where you're supposed to be in shape and you look stupid? Same thing with Christians. God-fearing. Come on, man. Now, I know there's excuses for everything. We all have a million excuses. But, what, you think I don't go through nothing? You think your neighbor doesn't go through nothing? We all got our stuff, man. Choices, decisions. Don't be gross. Don't be weak. Don't be pathetic. Show God that you love him and show these people that he's worth loving. Let's go. Listen, man. Mighty men and women for God, I love y'all. But after a while, man, you gotta take the training wheels off. You know what I'm saying? See if you can roll on 2 wheels. If you can't, put them back on, man. And then sit. And watch the real ballers roll, dude. Watch the men and women that put the work in. Watch them show you what happens when the training wheels are off. You know what I'm saying? Prayed up. Everything we do on this channel is done through prayer. But prayers are dangerous for evil. I'll tell you that. Load up prayers. Load them. Have endless supplies of prayers. And we'll be okay. Stay prayed up. Ask God for knowledge, wisdom, and discernment. You can hear that. That's unhealthy. That's cottonmouth. That's dehydration. Not good. Energy drink. Everybody's working, right? Drink a glass of water. Have a blessed day. And if you don't like what I said in this video, watch a different one. Later, y'all. Much love.